Hello, welcome to Georgia's flare tutorial. Today I'll be teaching you and my dad how to do the flare. Alright, first of all, you'll need a hat. Because when you get this move wrong, you get angry and you have to have something to throw. So you go, "Ah!" Okay, so first step. You want to have flexibility. Alright, so you want to try to be able to do the split, all three directions, comfortably. Although this is recommended, you do not have to be able to do a full split. A few strength exercises that I like to do is as follows. And then for the back. Alright, now for the actual flare. The most confusing part that most people have trouble with is how to start the flare. See, you can take one step forward, skip, step back. Now the back step is where it gets confusing. You can either step forwards, step to the side so your feet are coming in a plane like this, or you could actually step all the way back. The one that is most preferred would be the one where you step back, actually going forwards. Your hips are facing to the corner. This was my friend. Alright, so from top rock, step, step, back. Alright. Next is where we go down to the power move. Alright, so top rock, step, step. You're going to put I go counterclockwise, so my left hand directly under my shoulder. Now, this is another point of confusion. How do you put your hand on the floor? The way I used to train it was directly to the side. But now I start off my flares pointing to my left foot. Alright? Next, you're going to start the wind to the flare. Hand down. You're going to swing your foot around like so. Okay? Instead of kicking your leg up, kicking your left foot into your right leg to make it go up, you're just going to use that momentum to help it swing up. So this is what that looks like. Alright, so you're here and you start the front part of the flare. Next, you come to this V, or line, where you're in the front. And it's ideal to not get so high in the front as it is to get high in the back. So you want to save the height for later, and more or less keep this level, the height. Now this is where you really have to kick. You're going to kick your second leg really hard towards your ear, alright? Think about kicking yourself in the head. And your hips will go up by this. So you flare through, up, pull underneath, you up. Alright, so that's basically the first flare you will do. Okay? Now you notice with my hands, I don't do it like this. It's only the first hand that I point back towards my foot. From then on, my flares just be to the sides. Alright, you pick your hands up to swing your hips through. The difference between a gymnastics flare and a b-boy flare. Alright, a gymnastics flare is more kick, kick, kick. A b-boy flare is more maintaining the shape of the legs, not breaking the form, and you're just going around the hips. You're using the momentum of the hips rather than the kicking of the legs for momentum. Alright, so you have one flare. How do you go to two? A lot of people struggle with not only the one, but for myself, even more so, going to two. And that's where it goes back to your second leg, and then ultimately popping your hips back for another flare. So, start out my flare here. I'm going to place my original hand that I placed on the floor to do the first flare down. Alright, again, think about bringing those hips up. Use this up momentum and this momentum of yourself leaning forwards to get height. Okay? So it's all about leaning to the opposite direction as leaning your upper half opposite of your lower half. Alright, so watch as I attempt to. Okay. The flare is not just being able to get around. You want to be able to do it cleanly. So a few minor details that if you already have a flare you might want to look at, or if you're just beginning you still want to consider these, is the form. Alright, you want to have your legs wide apart, which is why the split is a good prerequisite. You want to pull your toes back towards your face, both sides. Alright? Hold back knees. You don't want to have funny form when you're doing your flare. Alright? If we're going past 2 to 3 is just about the training of it. You would want to practice consistently for several months. You don't want to get discouraged if you don't get the move right away. It took me quite a while to get multiple flares. So keep the training up and you will progress to be able to do them cleanly, consistently, confidently, and then ultimately do combos to other moves. So do one more set of 3. Okay, so like I was mentioning before, the height in the back is where you can transition to air flare. It's a windmill. Alright, that height in the back is important. I used to train for get my hips as high as I can in the front, but then I noticed when I was going around to the back, I failed miserably. So like I was saying, you want to keep your hips high in the back or else bad things will happen. Alright, so with that all said and done, why don't we see how my father does at the flare? Ready, Dad?
Ready.
Alright, so remember you need the hat.
I got the hat.
Ready? Go for it.
Flare. You get down. And you go around this way and this way. This way. This way. A completed flare. Not that difficult.
You forgot something. Thanks, Dad.
You got it.
Alright, so shout outs to Bboy Spins for asking me to do the video, and that's about it. Remember, clean form, practice hard, and ultimately you'll have the flare. Peace. Bboy Georgia.